How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So, like we predicted, the stock market got completely squashed today. We had the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ all go down about 0.7%, and the Russell went down about 1%. And on top of that, we had Apple go down a bunch, Google went down a bunch, and don't worry, we'll talk all about Apple and Epic Games in this video, plus more. So sit back, relax, smash that like button if you guys find value. Check out my Patreon down below, and let's get right into the video. So if you guys watched my content a couple of weeks ago, well, it was actually only a week or two ago, we initially called this sell-off out. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or say I'm the king of the hill over here, but we called out originally the bearish divergence on this 20-day chart. That was back when the S&P was at all-time highs. Now, fast forward a couple of days later, 5-6 trading days later, we're seeing a big sell-off, and today the sell-off escalated even more. Very aggressive dump-off at the end of the day. You guys can see here on the intraday chart. And whoa, look at that. I'm not even kidding, guys. I did not touch these trend lines. If you guys watched my video earlier today, we literally called this out to a T. The intraday chart, price action on SPY, what we're seeing right here. We called out how we might see a relief rally in the middle of the day. We got exactly that after the sell-off in the beginning of the day. And I also said to you guys, look for the dump-off at close after that midday relief rally. And if you go back and watch my video from earlier, I said exactly that, and we nailed it. You know, it happened just like that. We ended up selling down to 445. We saw a big dump at the close of the market after the midday relief rally, and we ended up taking out the lows from not only yesterday, but pretty much the lows over the past couple of days. And now the S&P and the Dow, for that matter, they've gone down 5 straight days, which I think that's the biggest drop we've seen, or consecutive drop we've seen in quite some time here. I mean, not in a very long time, but at least from the past couple of months. So SPY is not looking so great on the 5-day chart, but going back to that 4-hour chart, the trend is still an uptrend. We're right by the 180 moving average, which is the gold trend line, and you guys can clearly see this has held as support the past couple of months. So don't be surprised if we maybe rally right off of this. You know, the sell-off could be done at this point. I'm not trying to predict anything crazy, but if history repeats itself, we might rally a bit off of this trend line, maybe see a relief rally, and maybe more buyers stepping in. But the second we start breaking under the trend line, we go 440, we start cracking under 440 back to the 430s. That is where we could see maybe, excuse me, guys, an extended sell-off. So keep your eyes on, I'd say, the 4-hour chart, very critical time frame, and that 180 SMA on SPY on the 4-hour chart. And for QQQ, you're noticing a lot of the same. Did I not say this yesterday, that the second we start breaking under 380, which we did today, we're going to see a pretty big slip on QQQ. And it doesn't help that Apple and Google, 2 big tech giants, did not do well today. I mean, they have a huge weighting not only on QQQ, but on the overall markets in general, S&P 500 as well, obviously. So I told you guys, look, if we start slipping under 380, we start taking the low out from Wednesday at about 378, we're going to see a dump off. And lo and behold, that is exactly what we got. And I believe I mentioned that in my video earlier today, which you guys, this is why it's so important to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because we're making, for the most part, 2 videos a day during the week. So, and we're talking about this stuff every day. So it's very important that you guys stay tuned. And at this point in time, we're trading at a low point, the lowest point since the end of August. So yeah, I mean, now we're trading under both moving averages. on the 20-day chart for QQQ, and by the looks of it, we're going right towards that 180 moving average, low 370s here on the 4-hour chart. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to know. As always, make sure to smash that like button while you're at it. If you guys do find value in the videos, of course. If not, I guess don't hit the like button, or if you're feeling a little crazy, maybe hit that dislike button. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, right? So let's talk about some of these stocks, the culprits of the market today. Number one being Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. And if you guys have not been in the loop, Apple has been going at it legally with Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, right? And I have a lot of notes here that we're going to talk about today, which obviously dropped Apple stock being down about 3.3% on the day. And let me get this out there before we even talk about what happened today. The stock is still uptrending. It's still holding the main 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Although it did drop under the 50 moving average, the stock is still uptrending, and it still looks pretty good trend-wise, technically speaking. So let's talk about this, right? So the tech giant was hit with a new injunction in the company's legal battle with Fortnite, again, the creator of Epic Games. And the injunction from Judge Yvonne, I think it's Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers, she said, this will allow developers who use the company's app store to put quote-unquote buttons, external links, or other calls to action within their apps and metadata that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms wait a second. Oh, these call to actions will direct customers, I read that wrong, to purchasing mechanisms in addition to in-app purchasing. Apple can also no longer prohibit developers from communicating with customers through points of contact obtained voluntarily through account registration within apps. The order comes after Epic Games announced plans to implement its own in-app payment system in the popular video game last year to avoid paying Apple a 30% commission fee. So pretty much Apple's raking in the money, guys, via this their app store with not only Fortnite, Epic Games, but obviously all the other apps. They're bringing in, I think, 15 to 30% commission there. So Fortnite was looking to get around this, and Apple was not having it. And in response to the move, Apple actually removed Fortnite from its app store and restricted access to its iOS developer account. Epic fired back with an antitrust lawsuit accusing Apple of using its app store to stifle competition and maintain a monopoly over the app market. And there's a lot of accusations about Google being a monopoly, Apple, anti-competitive practices, and so forth. And the court concludes today that Apple's anti-steering provisions hide critical information from consumers and illegally stifle consumer choice, Rogers wrote in the ruling. And when coupled with Apple's incipient antitrust violations, these anti-steering provisions are anti-competitive, and a nationwide remedy to eliminate those provisions is warranted. The injunction addresses a long-standing developer complaint and raises the ability that developers could direct their users to their website to subscribe to or purchase digital content, hurting Apple's App Store sales, which grossed, get this, an epic, no pun intended, no shot at Epic Games, an epic estimated $64 billion in 2020. So the App Store, guys, made $64 billion. So this is probably going to take a hit in terms of the revenue. From 64 bill, I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to go to 50, 55? I have no idea, but Apple stock is feeling the heat. Again, it went down 3.3% today. And will this be the end of Apple? Absolutely not, guys. But it is a short-term hiccup that could cause, I don't want to say, no way it causes a bear market, 20% plus drop. There's absolutely no way. But could Apple go down 5, 10% from its peak? I mean, heck, it's already almost there. It hit 157 a couple of days ago. Now it's at 148. The stock's already down 6%. Could it go down 10% from the peak? Absolutely. Very possible. I mean, that would happen. Let's say Apple went down to 140, guys, 142. That would be a 10% drop, or even $140, 138 even. So if it drops another $5-10, Apple is in correction territory. And at that point, I truly believe, and I'd probably be one of these people, buyers step in. I might even average into Apple at that point because this is not going to hurt Apple too much, but it is a sting. It is a sting, no doubt about it. And I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments. As always, are you an Apple shareholder? Are you not? Me personally, full disclosure, I own Apple. I own shares in the low hundreds. I think 105, 110, something like that. And I'm not planning on selling a single share of my Apple holding. And Google also got nailed today because, again, like I said in this video, Apple's getting hit for anti-competitive, potential monopolistic practices, right? Google is accused of that. I mean, they own the biggest search engine, Google search engine, YouTube, the second biggest search engine, all owned by Google, and they own a lot more. And Google went down over 2% today, down about $60 per share. And I've been very vocal on the channel. I've mentioned to you guys many times, countless times, my favorite stock in the markets is Google. I own a big position of Google, and I might even add more if this starts selling off. You know, this is one that my average cost is under $2,000, so I'm already up a good chunk on my position. And this is one that I love, like I said, being my favorite stock, and I'm willing to average up. And that's something that you guys have to, understand. A lot of people are nervous or scared, or they don't want to average up into their winners or on their winners, right? You guys get my point. Me being up a lot on Google, people would be like, oh, I'm already up. I'm going to wait till it crashes to add more. I kind of view it the opposite when it comes to my core holdings, my favorite stocks out there. If they drop 5-10%, I'm averaging up. I don't care if I'm up like 50 per, maybe not 50 per. Actually, I think I'm up like 50% on Google. I don't care. I'm still going to be averaging up. So at this point in time, right, Google is not down that much. It hit an all-time high of 29.36 earlier this month. Now it's at 28.38. So it's down $100 from its all-time high, or in other words, about 3.5%. But if it starts getting down a bit more, that is where I'm going to average up into the position, right? Let's say it starts getting down 27.80, 27.50, towards that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. That is where I'm going to be adding more to my Google. If it dips 5, under 5, or rather more than 5%, that's probably where I'm going to consider it. So Google, I like this trend. And again, full disclosure, I own it long term, and I'd even like it as a swing trade at that 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart here. And believe it or not, Amazon and Microsoft, they didn't really get hit today. I mean, Amazon, okay, I guess 0.5%. That's a pretty decent drop on Amazon being one of the top 5 biggest companies in the world. That's a lot of money lost off the market cap, even though it's only 0.5%. It didn't get hit as hard as Google, though, or Apple, obviously. And at this point in time, Amazon, it's selling off towards the main moving averages on the 4-hour chart. We're still noticing a golden cross here as well. 50's crossing above the 180. So if the markets maybe SPY and QQQ bounce next week, early next week, maybe we do see a bit of a relief rally on Amazon off these moving averages on the 4-hour chart. And pulling up Microsoft, this one's looking pretty bullish still. Way more bullish than Amazon, that's for sure. I mean, Microsoft, it's down about $11 from the all-time high, or about 3.5%, 4%. And it's still holding the uptrend, believe it or not. Well, it's not that hard to believe. I mean, what stock? Most stocks out there are holding uptrends right now. But Microsoft, like I said, down about 3-4%. It's holding that 180 SMA at a higher low right now on the 4-hour chart. Maybe we do get some sort of rally next week off of this moving average. Probably, maybe, no one knows what's going to happen, but maybe back over $300 per share. So I'm watching Microsoft on this trend here. I like it, pretty solid. And Tesla is another one. Before I wrap up the video, guys, let me take a sip of water real quick. Yeah, Tesla is another one that's looking pretty good. You know, we called the breakout on this one above 730. If you guys remember that, let me know in the comments. And it broke out to about 770, 765 roughly. And today we got a good amount of profit taking, a nice sell-off, down about $20 per share, or 2.5% in other words. And look at this, we're right by that 50 moving average, and by 730, which remember was resistance all throughout August and early September. Actually, not really September, pretty much all throughout August. So we broke out, we went to 760, now we're selling off. I think buyers might step in at about 730. You know, old resistance probably will act as a support now, and we're right by that 50 moving average. So if the market stabilizes next week, we don't get another big leg down, a crash or whatever, maybe we start consolidating and pushing back up a tad bit. Tesla and a lot of these large caps, mega caps, probably will recover a bit, and that is where we could see the bounce from 730 back to the mid 700s, high 700s even. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of my content. And check out my Patreon if you guys want to work more with me on a one-on-one basis. All of that's on Patreon. Link down below. You get my buys, sells, call outs, a morning update video every day, private Discord access. That is linked down below, or you guys can go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 2 stocks from Webull and your $30 from M1 Finance, linked down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video, which, if you want, check out my video from earlier. We kind of cover the same stuff a little bit more in depth in this video, but check it out. We go over some other stocks in that video I didn't talk about in this one. I'll pop it up here. I'll see you guys there. Have a great weekend. I might make a video tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But other than that, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace out. Stay safe out there. I don't know what else to say. See you guys.